Californios restaurant in San Francisco. 2 Michelin stars, 14 courses, $400 a person. Is it worth it? Stand by to find out. Chef Val Cantu and his wife Carolyn launched Californios in 2015, taking the name from a word for Californians of Spanish and/or Mexican descent. It's quickly become one of the most acclaimed Mexican restaurants in the United States. I booked dinner online through Talk, got a table for 2 on the patio at 5 o'clock. You have to pay in full at the time you make the reservation. There were plenty of metered spaces in front of the restaurant on 11th Street in San Francisco's Soma neighborhood when I pulled up at 4:45. The parking meters run till 6. The patio, designed by Carolyn Cantu, is tranquil and serene. The tables spaced so that you don't feel like neighboring diners are on top of you. The menus, printed in booklets placed on the table, make nice souvenirs. The meal kicked off with a series of bite-sized portions inspired by the street foods of Mexico and Central and South America. Each bite was basically a masa vessel paired with some premium ingredients. There was a tostada topped with slices of fatty, sweet hamachi, aka yellowtail. A mini taco was stuffed with Dungeness crab and crowned with bright orange trout roe. The sopa came with Siberian caviar under Hokkaido sea urchin glazed in white soy. All of these bites were delicious and thoughtfully presented. For instance, the chilapita, a blue masa tart with smoked sturgeon mousse and buttery golden Osetra caviar, was served on a millstone used to grind corn. Part 2 of the meal started off with aguachiles, similar to ceviche, only the fish, in this case sea bream from Japan and bluefin tuna from Baja California, is tossed in the seasoned acidic liquid and served immediately instead of being allowed to marinate. This was followed by a grilled banana with Kaluga hybrid caviar, a sustainable version of beluga, underpinned with savory dulce de leche. Sounded madcap, but worked really well, creamy, briny, and sweet. The 3 tacos in the tacos course offered widely different tastes and textures, from juicy, succulent pieces of Maine lobster wrapped in hickory gold masa to a rectangular block of stick-to-your-ribs lamb barbacoa served on an exceptional sourdough tortilla. The 3rd taco perhaps best exemplified the elevation and preservation of Mexican cuisine that Chef Cantu is going for. Called a tlacoyo after an indigenous word for ground corn masa, it's wrapped in leaves of hoja santa, an herb whose name means sacred leaf in Spanish. The hoja santa was firm but not tough and had a very subtle root beer flavor that played well off the filling of red masa, cranberry beans, and smoked queso Oaxaca. The savory dishes wrapped up with perhaps the most conventional offering of the night, a rack of lamb dressed in mole amarillo, one of Mexico's traditional moles. 2 exceptional dessert courses from pastry chef Sophie Howe provided an exclamation point to the meal. They featured corn and chocolate, 2 essential ingredients of pre-Columbian Mexico. The first course consisted of a corn cookie with goat cheese and guava jam and a bowl of white corn ice cream dressed with blueberry sauce. Tart, sweet, sour, and delicious. The chocolate course featured a chocolate cornmeal tart filled with a rich, pudding-like chocolate cremeur, a selection of bonbons, and a marvelous confection of spun coconut sugar served on a popsicle stick upended in a shot glass. The intensely flavored pina colada paleta inside was a nice surprise. There were some fun, inventive interstitials throughout the meal, starting with an aperitif of cherry agua fresca flavored with cardamom, then a palate cleanser of cucumber sorbet and watermelon, and finally mint tea and a digestif of ginger and apple juice with a touch of vermouth. Californios readily accommodates dietary restrictions and food allergies. I saw a woman nearby getting scallops instead of the lamb chop. Gluten-free diners really don't need to sacrifice much to eat here. You won't get the sourdough taco, you'll get a corn one instead with the lamb barbacoa taco. and you won't get the white soy glaze on the sea urchin, but that's it. As far as prices go, dinner at Californios is on par with the tasting menus of other top restaurants in the area. It's a lot to spend for dinner, but you are paying for a number of things: ingredients, service, presentation. You're paying for San Francisco, but most of all, you're paying for talent. You want a prime seat to see the best basketball players or ballet dancers or singers, you're going to pay a premium, and so it goes with chefs like Val Cantu. His vision and creativity make a meal at Californios a once-in-a-lifetime experience. You're going to have things you've never had before and maybe will never have again because the menu changes so often. And so to sum up, dining at Californios is certainly a splurge, but it's one that I highly recommend. Thanks for watching.